Good evening, everyone, on this lovely Wednesday evening, as it's still quite warm in Holland or the Netherlands, whatever you want to call it, and as we are getting ready to start our own zoo. Well, the game's loaded up, I'm ready, and if Chad's ready, we're gonna go. So we're gonna make a brand new zoo. We're gonna do it in sandbox mode this time, so we have no money to worry about and stuff like that, because it's the first time we're gonna do this. Another time we might do like a franchise zoo or whatever, but I have to prepare a bit more for that. Yep. So let's just go into the sandbox mode. We'll make a new zoo. We'll have to select a biome. Well, I'm in Holland, so let's just do a European style zoo. I think that will be fine. This is all fine. So we're going to name this the Patmosia Zoo. And we're going to create that zoo. There we are. Let's get rid of this music so we can start to play and I can keep thinking, because with this music in my ears, I can't think. There we go. And we're there. Let's pause straight away. That's the most important thing that you can ever do in this game. Just pause straight away so nothing can go wrong. Good evening, Jon. Nice of you to join us. Glad you caught that earlier plane to St. Petersburg. Let's get going with this. Now, the whole idea of this is I'll be building the zoo, but I need you people's input. So make sure that you're ready whenever I ask to give me some input that I might desperately need. And the first thing we need to think about, of course, is what kind of zoo are we going to build? I mean, here we have a nice starting area, but that's it. So what are we going to do? Should we make a little themed zoo like I showed in my pictures, where we have like a continental area for Asia, we have an area for Africa, we have an area for America, whatever. We could do a biome zoo, so make a desert area, make a aquarium area, make a rainforest area, do all those kind of things. We can just do a random zoo, just pick an animal and see, we'll build it, and then we just pick another one and we go to the next one. There's a lot of stuff that we can do. And I'll be going to start a little layout for the beginning area, and then it's up to you to decide what type of zoo you want. So just let me hear that soon enough. Now, one of the things is, let's get rid of these little hedges, because I don't like those. I want to get that changed up later on anyway. And one of the things you'll see is that a lot of people go for, yeah, let's get rid of this so we can make nice straight paths. I like that. A lot of people, of course, go for a big main area, and I actually would like to try and avoid that a little bit. So let's align it to this grid, and let's just go straight around the corner, actually. So yeah, we have a little starting area here. And we're going to make the road too wide, but that's it. So it should be somewhat like this. And from here on, we're going to deselect the grid, and we're going to make, let's make it 8 wide. So it should be as wide as we already built. Yep. Let's go like this. We can make it slightly longer, I think. And then we just have to make sure that, yeah, we get some curvation in there. Now we can start to narrow it a little bit. And let's see. We can change this, of course, so that is not a real issue. The real issue right now is how to get things underway with this little zoo. Yeah, let's start like this. Let's just get rid of these two parts and try to connect this. This might be working out better. Yeah, this is a little better. Alright, as you can see, I've turned off the sidewalks, so there's no real... The road is just on the surface, that's it. Hello, Donnie. Nice of you to join us. How are you? I hope everybody is fine. Alright, so we have 2 roads going, so we can put something here in the center that might be an eye catcher, so when people come in they will immediately get to an eye catcher. And then we can start off to one area or the other and hopefully build a nice zoo, of course. Let's just go and make sure that we have a lot of short grass, because that's way easier when you're building stuff. It won't get through the paths and stuff like that. So let's switch this all over to short grass. We will switch that later, but the tall grass will get through the paths, and I don't like that. You'll see it's like they did not remove all the weeds from the paths in the beginning, so let's get rid of that. And the basic idea of this zoo is that I'm going to build what I like, but you guys have input. So just let me know your thoughts, your ideas, whatever animal you want to see, things like that. And as long as I know how to do it or feel comfortable trying out, I will try that. So that's how it should go. Not sure if I'm really happy with this path, but I think we should just destroy this. And try to do a little better with this path here. Alright, let's go like this, because I don't like the whole idea of grid builds. If we can just make this go in straight. And then turn it into a little more natural looking. Yeah, this has more natural curves. I like that. Yeah, this is better. This looks better. The exotic ones. Well, actually, I was thinking I should just open up a little bidding, and then the highest bidder decides what should be the first animal. But I can't look in you people's wallets, so I'm not going to do that. But I don't really know. Maybe we should just find an animal to start with, and you guys can give me some suggestions. But before we do that, we need to start off with a few of the needed buildings. So we need a keeper's hut, the staff room, a quarantine center, things like that. And that I will like to do a little bit the same as I did in the other zoo. We'll just take a different path this time. But I'm going to hide that into a nice little corner and hide it behind a little part of the scenery. So there we go. We'll just move it this way. And then we're gonna start on this side now. I've just decided that. And now we can build those structures here and then put it put them in nice and easy. All right, here we go. We'll have to build a few buildings, so we're gonna try it out. Ooh, roadhogs want to go with the bunnies. I don't know which bunnies, of course, but we'll see. I think first we have to decide what type of area we're going to build. So are we going with like a continent themed zoo, or are we going with certain biomes, so a desert area and a tropical area, or are we going with just whatever we want? What should be the theme of this little area? Aquarium complex for the little ones. Oh, you want to start easy. Interesting. Can we do a wombat? They have squared poops. I don't know if that's in here, but we have to build the buildings first, so let's start with that then. I'm just going to construct a few structures, and you'll just have to jump in and say whatever you want. Alright, let's see. Bamboo. No, I want some solid structures. What's this? Breeze block wall arch. I'm not going to go with the normal stones. I don't like that. So let's go with walls. Since we're tree huggers, we're going to go with the horizontal wooden plank wall. I like that. I just hate the trees around here, but that's okay. See, the trees are always in the way. Okay, let's get going. Now for some of these structures, we're going to need some doors. So we'll just put in a few doors. I have no clue if they will fit in actually, so we're going to fit some of these staff facilities now, like the Animal Trade Center. If we can just fit it in. There it is, yep. Then we know what we can place. So maybe we should place it right here. That's one. Then we can place a bigger building, like the quarantine, somewhere in here. Oh, now it's not connected anymore. How did that happen? Add it to the group. And then I want to continue with the facilities. Ah, we can't do it with this one apparently. Alright, so we'll have to just... Oh, this is a done building, of course. That's the problem. I'm just picking the wrong building. I need to get the empty one. Alright, let's go to quarantine and let's pick the empty one, the small one. There we are, perfect. Let's rotate it. Yeah, like this, then we lower it, and now it is in place. Alright, the surgeon, the veterinary surgeon. Do we need an actual surgeon? Or just a veterinary station? Keeper's hut, let's start with that. A small keeper's hut that can go in here. We need a research center, could also be small, we don't need a big one straight away. What else do we need? A staff room, alright. Well, we do need a medical facility in the end. I just thought that would be a bit smaller, but yeah, let's go down here. And then we need a staff room, so let's go to the staff room. We'll do a small one, we don't need the big one yet. There we are. Alright, let's go back to our construction. To the wooden panels. I'll read the chat soon, so don't worry, don't start crying. I'll be reading up on the chat quickly. There we go. If you wanna, you can see that this does not really fit in now, but if you hold the shift key and just move your mouse down, it will lower it, and now it all of a sudden fits. So that can be a big help. Do you get a starting budget? No. This is the sandbox mode, so we have unlimited money, unlimited special nature points that you need to unlock certain animals. So basically we are going the easy way this time. I will be doing a franchise zoo next time, which is a little bit harder because yeah, then you do actually have money. But for now, for this zoo, we're kind of taking the easy way, so we don't have to struggle too much with all of this. And we can just build a nice zoo, because that's basically what I'm going to do. Now, this is all, of course, very much work. So this will all take time. And if we have to take money into account, we have to be even more precise. So let's just do it like this now. All right, we have this structure now. All we have to do is put a roof over it. Horizontal wooden plank floor. Roof flat. Oh, here we have a flat roof. Where did the roof go? There it is. Alright, sometimes it's a bit of a struggle to get it in the right position. There it is. Alright, here we are. And we'll need an enclosure full of English people who just walk around doing everything the zookeeper says. Yeah, I'm going to make a separate island for those British people, so that they can enjoy themselves on the island, thinking they're the best of the world on that island, and then all the other people can just do their own business. Alright, so this is just our main staff area. I'm not going to completely decorate the building yet. We're going to put air conditioning and stuff on it later, but I want to get going on one of the habitats. But this is a start, and the interesting thing is we can basically incorporate this in the end into a little area. So if we build a zoo area here, a habitat, we could just make this disappear into the enclosure. So that should make it look nice, at least that's what I hope. Question is, have you guys already decided on an animal we should start with? What animal should we go give a go for now? Maybe you have an idea, maybe not. I don't know. I can't really read up the complete chat all the time, so... The giraffe. Oh, that's interesting. Let's see if we can get a giraffe. I've just built a tiger in my other zoo, so that's why it's set on that. I have to find the right name for the giraffe, of course. That's the thing in this game. Everything has its own name, and I'm not familiar with all the... Oh, we could do the warthog. I'm not familiar. Well, we can do the species search. Confirm, and then we can do giraffe, and then we can find the reticulated giraffe. There we are. Okay. So, how to know what to build? Well, just open your Zoopedia. Here you can get every information you want about the species. And then you can just check the habitat. Now, this animal needs a big habitat, so we can adjust it here. So if we want to get like 2 adults and in the end get 2 kids in, we need 20,000 square meters, which is a very big habitat. But we can do that. It will be nice. We might even be able to incorporate more animals into this, because they can live with other animals and they like that. So that could be interesting. Maybe the common warthog, that could be nice. So that's interesting. They need to live in 2 to 12 group size. So that's all nice. And if you want to know what grade you need, we need a grade 3 fence, at least 2 meters high. That's it. All right. So the giraffe. Oh, that's going to be pretty interesting if we're going to start with that. The thing is, though, we don't have really a lot of space here, so I think it would be nice if we could start with a little smaller animal that needs a little bit smaller habitat, so we don't have to worry about this whole area. We could do a big savanna area like right here in the middle of the zoo with the giraffes and the warthogs and other animals all in one place, but that would be very big. I would like to be able to get a path that goes over it and stuff like that, so I think we should go with a little bit of a smaller animal. I think that might be good. Yeah, let's just get rid of this. Let's see if there's anything to... Ooh, the aardvark. Let's see how much size it needs. Yeah, that doesn't need that much size. So we could go with that, for instance. Lives in Africa too. Centipedes, they are smaller. All right, let's go back. Don't think they have those. Or you misspelled it, of course. I don't know. Let's just go over this, and if you see an animal that you think would be nice, we can try to get it. Ooh, the American alligator. Ooh, it looks kind of mean. Does not need a lot of space. It does need water, so that could be interesting. And it needs a very small boundary, so that could be something. Victor the giraffe. Gertrude the giraffe. Oh, that should be interesting. Well, if it's all okay with you, we could start with a little alligator. But oh yeah, that's also quite tough to build in this small area. Come on, people, we should be able to find a nice animal that would fit there. I would count to 10. Yeah, I think we're gonna pick something. I am just about to pick something. Alright. How much space do you need? Ooh, very small amount of space. That's good, that's good. Does not need elevation, just needs a climb-proof fence, but that's fine. I know these animals can swim. That should not be too much of a problem. And I think I can use this to... Alright, I already did that one. We're gonna go with the aardvark. That should be a start. Can we put something else in there? No. And if we get like 500 square meters, that should be fine. What type of fence does it need? Grade 2, only half a meter high, so we don't need a high fence. That's cool. Alright, so this should be the area for the aardvark. That means that we have to start with a barrier. And we are going to start off with a invisible barrier. Alright, we need to get into the enclosure somewhere. That's what we're going to do right here. And the buildings here will also be the outer wall of the whole zoo. So let's make everything invisible. There we go. And we're just going to set up a imaginary barrier right now. And the reason we are doing that is to measure how great this habitat is going to be. Because we need it to be a certain size, and by just laying out a type of foundation like this, we can now click the barrier and see how big this area is and whether it's big enough. Well, this should cut it. So yeah, this is big enough. It's actually way too big, so maybe we could make it a little bit less big. Alright, let's edit the barrier. From here on, we'll delete these. And we'll do it like that. That should make it quite a bit smaller. Yep, okay, well, this should do, this should do. So now we know where the animal actually is going to live, and now we have to think about how to make sure that they stay inside and make it interesting. Now, of course, here we have a path for staff, so we have to create some sort of a nice area here. So this should be high. And then here we can do something with a low fence. So let's construct something that could make this area disappear, which is usually rocks. Let's just go with these desert rocks, because this animal apparently lives in a desert area anyway. Now, I've turned off the fence that I want to see it, but now I actually do want to see it. So let's show me the fence so I know where to place this. So it's right on the fence. Maybe we should make this stick out on the path a little bit, because that could give it a nice effect. And now we should just start aligning these the way we want them to align. You can see that you can move them inside each other. If they start to go on top of each other, just hold it in front, hit the X button. Now we can see that we have some ways that we can move it in different directions, and then you can completely cover it in another rock. So if you're struggling with that a little bit, just hit the X button. You can get this. We can even hit the X again. We can have more options on how to actually move the rock, but for now this will do. So we'll just place it like that. Then we are going to go next to this building, and we're going to integrate this big rock here. And now we have to find a way to get from this top rock a little bit more down. So I'm going to hit the X button here. So this is now a little bit stepped. I think that looks nice. It just goes up. Might be good to add a little rock in here. On here, so that it's really high enough for the aardvark to stay in. There we go. Should probably add a few small rocks here. Like this, standing up. That's okay. Yep, that's perfect. There's not a lot of very small rocks, so we have to kind of work our magic here, but I think this is good. I think this is good. And we can work with this. We can put some foliage here. Then it will actually look nice. Okay, so we have one side of the place filled up already. We can actually fit this on the roof a little bit so that it really integrates it into the stone wall here. So now we have to start with the front because of course we have to wall off this area. Now for that I'm not going to use any normal barriers that are in the game because I don't really like those. So we're going to construct our own fence this time. So we're going to go into this section. I think I want to go with just something like normal wood. So something brown wood. And what I usually do is I scroll down like this. And then I try to find what I'm looking for. But this is all walls. And we don't need walls. We need structural props, I think. Yeah, this is better. And then we're gonna look. Yeah, here are the East Asia or just the East Asia unpainted walls. That should be good. This is 2 meters high. That's a bit high. 4 meters. So we can check. This is a very high, tall thing. That's not really useful. This is a lot smaller. So maybe we can use this or something like this because these are also quite small. So what we can do. Basically what you do is you build a fence somewhere and then we're just going to copy it. So right here I'm going to build this little fence. And then soon enough we are going to copy this. Alright, let's put this on the angle snap. And just lay it down like this. And now we are going to move this next to the little area here. There we are. Now this is quite a precise work, so we'll have to rotate the camera every now and then to make sure that it fits in nicely, but this seems to be fitting well like this. And this is good, so now all I want is to have it a bit up here, because I think that looks better. Yes, this is good. Yes. And now if you don't do anything else, there will be another one underneath it that we can just use straight away too. So now we'll have 2 here. And I think this looks good. So let's do yes again. Now it needs to be a little bit higher. Yes. And now we're done. And this is going to be the start of our fence. So now we are going to copy it. I'm going to rotate it around. No, I'm not. I'm going to just start off right here in the stone wall. And now we'll have to position this to next to the path, I think. So let's get the angle snap off. So now we can just precisely move it how we want it to be. And we're just going to move it next to the path. Now it's still a bit high and I don't want that. So what we are going to do is we're going to lower this a bit. And then place it. There it is. And now all we have to do is just keep placing these parts. And we are creating a nice fence. I just hope this is big enough for the aardvark to be contained, but we'll find out, and if not, we'll just raise it a little bit. And now all we have to do is make sure that we fit it in nicely. So let's hit the X. Let's see, is this a good fit? I think so. So let's hit yes, and now we can just continue with another yes. Now the next one we might need to rotate a little bit, so we'll just put it in place, hit the X again, and just go and rotate it in the direction I want. Then move it back a little bit, and let's continue. And this way we can easily build a customized fence around an animal that will still hold the animal in place if it's just high enough or strong enough. So you can't do this with all animals. If you do this in the elephant enclosure, they will just run past it, of course, but in some of the enclosures you actually can do this. Now we don't need to keep fitting this perfectly towards the road. We can always change the road on later if we want to. And now we really are creating our own fence for the aardvark to live in. And if you just take a look at it, look at this. Now this seems to be like a natural fence that you would find in a zoo, not the big barriers. So I think this could be nice. Hey Patmosia, nice of you to join us. How are you? Little problem, I'm so busy building my zoo, I'm not reading the chat that much. So I hope nobody will get mad because I'm not reading the chat that much. I'm doing my best. But let's move this so that it fits. Let's go a little bit out. I have to go back and forth every now and then, but in the end it'll work. Yes, let's continue. Alright, let's do another rotation. There we go. So this is a pretty easy way to create your own fence. Now, of course, everything in this game, if you want to not build a standard zoo with standard stuff, is a bit time consuming. So be prepared for that. Everything takes time, costs time, but I think in the end it's worth it. I'm not one that is easily happy with something he created, because I'm quite I'm my own harshest critic. But so far what I've done in the other zoo, which you could already see, of course, in the on the pictures, I'm quite happy with what I've created so far in the other zoo. So that's something that's quite rare. But if you put a lot of effort into it and you see the thing in your head come through, then that's really nice. Face melting hot here. Oh wow, how warm is it then? Yeah, it's quite hot in here too, but that's because I don't like to stream with all my windows open, so all my neighbors will hear me. So it's getting a little bit warm here too. Alright, I think we need to do another big rotation here. There we go. Let's see. Let's first try and get this right. Oh, this could work out. I'll maybe put in another one of those soon enough. And I think we should rotate it outward a little bit so that it's going to follow the fence. There we go. Yes, this will do. Alright, next one. Are we actually going to do this? No, we are not going to do this. We're going to remove this part. Well, not the last one. We're going to remove these two because this should be the end of the fence, of course. So let's rotate this. Oops, I wasn't done yet. And let's put it in the right spot, because here we can continue with stones again. Why? Well, if we're going to continue this zoo, then there will probably be another habitat next to it here. So we need to think of a barrier here that will not only hold this animal in, but also the one that's going to be next to it. And a good way of doing that could be just by those rocks. So we're just going to continue with the rocks. Now I always like to work backwards with the rocks. So we start in the back here. And we're just going to continue putting in the big rocks here. I guess we should do a little bit of a smaller one here now. That gets close to the door. And then soon enough, we can just fill a hole like this with a rock so that you don't see that anymore and it's completely filled up. Okay. Is there another bigger one? Ooh, that's quite big actually. Yeah, this one might do. Let's just put this one on here. They can still use the entrance here, or at least they should be able to, so that's nice. Is that to keep the humans out? Normally it is. As soon as we're going to start the British part of the zoo, then it is to keep them in. So we'll just dig a big moat around it and make sure that they can't get out. But yeah, this is to keep the humans out. Although I think there are actually animals where you can put the human in. I don't think that's the case with the aardvark. But there are animals where it always also will say that, here, can the guest enter the habitat? Yes. So you could put them in an enclosure where humans can actually enter. I would not advise it, but my tea with some rum would be amazing. Alright, let's continue on with nature, as this part is called. I don't really see the nature in rocks, but, well, they are natural, of course. Okay, so let's continue with this little part of the enclosure. Now, of course, since we don't know which animal will be next to this, we have no clue how big this actually has to be. So we'll just have to work our magic and see later on if we have to raise this or lower it again or whatever, because we don't know what animal will be next to this. But for now, we are quite fine. What I like to do is try and squeeze this in. No, this is too big. We're not going to squeeze that in there. Okay. Let's just continue adding a few big rocks. And then we can go to somewhat smaller rocks here. Sometimes I just wish there were a few more options, but we can put this one straight up. That could also make a difference already. It's not really working. Alright, so let's place that like this. Alright, let's see if we can put this one flat and then a little bit more up and to the back. I think this is better because now it's not too high, but it's still a big rock. That's nice. It's a lot of work though, putting all the pieces up, of course. That's not really a fit in there. That one is too big. This one I think is also a bit too big. Oh, this could be a nice and interesting stone to add in here. We'll completely close the gap and we can put some other stones on here to give it the idea of a heightened area. Let's see, that's too big, that's too big. Alright, so this should be the... It's limitless. Yeah, that's true, but I would like just more different types of rocks. I mean, I don't want to use the same rocks over and over again, but oh well, for now it's fine. It's just that sometimes you see these gaps and you want to fill them up and you don't want to use the same rocks over and over again, so... But I also don't want to see big gaps between the rocks. Alright, this appears to be okay, and I think this can hold an aardvark if we want to. Still, this size won't change, but since some of the rocks are in the enclosure, this will actually be smaller if you put the animal in and click on it. So you have to keep that in mind. If you build an enclosure and you put stuff in there, this goes off the actual land area that the animal can use. So keep that in mind. Alright, so here we have a little start. I don't really like this site though. And we don't have a site for the aardvark to get into. Now what I usually like to do is go to the species, in this case the aardvark, and see what they need, because I'm not an expert in all these animals. So for instance, this animal needs an animal burrow. So that's basically a good thing, because that means that we don't have to give them their own enclosure. So they don't need to have an inside area, that's what I mean. So what we could do with nature... There are a few flat rocks that are actually quite big. We could put up some rocks here. And then rotate them a bit so they look slightly different. Put up another rock here. So that this all looks a bit more like it is a rocky area. And what we can do now... of course, is just add some smaller pieces to this to completely fill the gaps. Something like that. And then when you stand here, you just see a enclosure. I think that could be really nice. Thanks, Thomas. Alright, let's go with X. Put it in here. Maybe put it up a little bit more. And then we should also be able to put up some stuff on the roof so that it will look like it is actually really part of the... Nope, I want to do this. And now we can see if we can actually move this a little bit and move it a bit down. And now you can see this area is really just fine. And now when you stand here on the path and you get low enough, you don't see the roof anymore. So we can actually completely hide the building if we want to. And I think that is really something nice. So let's just try that. Now we can rotate this if we want to, but I'm not going to do that. We're just going to create this roof and then we'll fill up the little gaps that are still left. We can also just add some foliage over it too, to completely hide the building. But now we don't have to put something over the whole building, because this will just do. If they stand here, they can't see the roof anymore. Instead of a wooden structure, would a glass observation walkthrough be better? Well, that depends on the word better, of course. I think it would look very nice if we could have done that, but well, apparently we didn't do that. But yeah, that would look great, of course. I just did not create that right now. Maybe next time. And of course, there's a lot that we can go on and explore with this zoo while building it, so there will be a lot more things that we can actually do. So don't worry about it. We'll get to some nice parts. Alright, I want this to actually snap on the building somewhere. And then I want to start moving it. No, it's not gonna work. So we'll do it like this, and then we just move it back. And a little bit to this. There we are. Alright, so now we hardly see anything of the building anymore. What I now like to do is use this flatter one. No. Maybe this one. Put a few rocks in that will... Yeah, those aren't the right rocks to do that. We'll just put in a few rocks to make this area look a little bit like the rocks are coming out here. That there's actually some rocks laying around. I think that will be cool. Something like this. So now it's not like there's just a wall. There are actually little rocks that fell off the wall here. Alright, so are we happy with this part of the enclosure so far? Alright, let's exit this. There we are. So this is the enclosure so far. I just hope this is high enough. I think we can actually test it. Because this should be 2 meters high. And, oops. Yeah, this is 2 meters high. And it should be at least 1 meter. And we're going to add that. Camera's a bit wonky every now and then. Sorry about that. That just happens in this game. Alright, so that is done. So what we have to do now is create the rest of the habitat. Now, that's quite difficult if you don't know all about the animal. So what I like to do is we hire a few people that can handle everything in the zoo. So we take a caretaker. Just one will do for now. We hire a keeper. I always hire 2 straight away. Look at them floating. That's nice. We need a mechanic to maintain all the fences that we don't have yet. We need a security dude. We need every one of these. We need a veterinarian. That's it. Alright, so now we have staff. So if we unpause, they will actually start walking and do something useful, I hope. And now I would like to get the animals. We'll just get a male and a female. 7 years, 7 years, 3 years, 7 years. Okay. Now this one has a medal over it. That means that this is a good species. So it has longevity, fertility. It's pretty immune. It's just not that big. And you can see if they don't have medals, they're pretty crappy. Oh, this one is pretty okay, but that's already a female. This is the best of the females. So we'll adopt this one and we'll adopt this one. And what I like to do is put these into the area. Why do we do that? Well, if they are in, we can see if they like the... I think it's on the high side. Yeah, I think so too. But if it is on the high side, we can just lower it. But if we take a look at these people... Yeah, I think we might need to... but then we have to select the whole structure, of course, before we actually lower it, which is quite the works. But we can maybe already do that while they get busy trying to put the animals in. They're already being put in, by the way, so that's good. Let's select everything and see if we can move this whole structure straight away. I'm not 100% sure, but yes we can. Let's lower it just a little bit more. I don't know, something like this. Should this be better? I think so. Maybe a little bit more. Still needs to be high enough, of course. Right, we'll leave it at this. We'll pause again because we don't want everything to happen. So now it's lowered a bit. That's one of the nice tools. And if we take a look at these people, yeah, I think this is good. The kids can now just look over it, but that should be fine. And that should be interesting. And of course, I have to tell everybody hi from Wifey. She's already on her way home from work. The client texted her that she could come a little bit early, so she would be done a little bit earlier. So she's already on the way home. She's listening to us. She can't watch, of course, because she's driving a car. So please don't be watching this. But well, hopefully she'll have a nice time in the car listening to me. And well, we're just going to continue with this. All right, for now, we can see that this one is sick, so we'll have to heal this one, but that's not the main concern. Now, we can see that its welfare is not good because its habitat is not up to standards, and we need to make sure it's a bit happier. So it needs a shelter, which we can create, but we can also see the needs for the enclosure. So it needs soil, it needs some long grass, and all the grass is now short, and it doesn't like that. Now, I think the best thing to do is create some soil. And that's where we're going to put in the burrows. Now they need to be, I think, a little bit close to the back so that they really have some privacy. And I think it's nice to have some of this soil next to the rocks. So that in the rocky areas, that's where the soil is. And here we have all the green grass. That should look fine, I think. So that's a start. And now we need some long grass, which we can put here in the middle, of course. That's fine. And a bit in the front. Alright, so this should make the aardvark already a lot happier. We can see everything's in the green now. Space is in the green. It just needs shelter. So having this all up and having the animal in the enclosure is really helpful to make sure that you can get what you need. Now let's go to the actual habitat and let's start putting in the burrows. Now we have some rocks here, and I'm going to add a few more later on around these burrows so that they actually are a hiding place for the animal. Now we have 2 animals. I'm going to also put in 2 burrows, I think, for now as a start. And now we have to make sure that we decorate those burrows a little bit. Now we can see that these are pretty dark, so I'm going to look for a little bit darker stone that will actually kind of match those burrows. I think this will do. Yeah, this does perfectly. Because in my mind, I think these animals would choose a spot where they can actually really hide. And this should be a place where they can actually really hide. So if we can just rotate this a little bit like this. Now it's like they made the burrow underneath this little rock. One thing you have to keep in mind though is you have to keep those burrows accessible for the animals. So make sure that it can still access this. And what I like to do now is close this off in the back. So that when you look to it from the front, it's almost like it's a stone burrow. And of course to let wifey know, because she can't see it. Everybody's saying hi and drive safely and things like that. Okay, so now we have one burrow. You can see the animals perfectly happy with the whole enclosure, but I think we have to do something with this little burrow too now. And since the other one is in stone, I think we should do the same. But this is quite a big rock. Maybe we can get a little smaller rock first to try that with. Oh, this fits in nicely. Ooh, I think this looks interesting like this. Oops, sometimes it's a bit of a struggle with all the buildings, of course. Camera's pretty sensitive. Alright, let's rotate this a bit. So we basically use the same stone, but now we've completely buried the burrow. And now we have two of those. Hopefully looking nice, but that's of course up to you people. And that's it. So basically they're happy now. But we have no coverage for them, and they do like some coverage. Not completely filled up with coverage, but they like some. Now an easy way to go there is to just hit grassland and hit tropical, and automatically those two filters will be applied to wherever you are. We are now looking at the rocks, so that's not really smart. But if we go to plants now, we will get the plants for tropical and grassland. And if we hit Africa too, it will also filter out only those that live in Africa. So now we should be getting a lot of plants that they like. There can still be plants that they don't like, but they will let us know. So for instance, if we plant elephant grass, you can see that elephant grass is just standing here. So they like this plant. I'm going to remove it now. Now I'm going to try and find some plant that they don't like, because it will turn up in red. So you will immediately know that they don't like that plant. Now, apparently these like most of the plants, so that's no issue. But there are species that don't really like every plant that you can put in. So we'll have to keep that in mind. One thing I would like to do is hang some stuff from this. I think that will look nice. Oh, it's a bit tough because some of the stones are not... Oh yeah, here we can hang up something. I'd like to move it a little back so it really looks like it's coming out of this rock. There it is. Can we hang some more? Yeah, we can hang some more. Maybe make it cover one of those holes. And maybe we should also try the other one that looks a bit different, so that it's not all the same. Right, this one should be a little bit more to the front, like that. Alright, so here we have a few pieces of branches hanging. And of course we can do multiple crossing each other, then it would also look dense. And now it just looked like there are some plants hanging from the ceiling there. I think that looks cool. I hope everything is still working. I see that chat fell completely silent, so either everybody is just watching with their mouths open in awe, or something went wrong, I don't know. But let's just see. We should now decorate the whole area. Alright, I've put in a plant, so we have to check whether the animal actually likes it or not. Exit. We're not editing that group anymore. Here we are. Yeah, the animal still likes it, but I'm still going to remove that. We're going to leave those veins hanging. And I think we should now try and find some trees for the back here. Yeah, I like to get some big trees in the back so that it feels safe and secure right there in the back. Hi Karen, nice of you to join us. How are you? Let's put in another tree then. You can also put in a few smaller ones. But I don't think we should put in too many trees. Yeah, we're already over the coverage that they like. So they like a nice open area. And I don't think I want to spoil too much of the area with trees. I also want to put in some grass. So we'll put up one more tree and that's it. Now, another thing that I like to do... Yeah, they're already in the coverage area. So let's get rid of those because they take up a lot of the coverage space, I think. Alright, let's go back to nature and let's start planting a few plants. Look, there's a nice plant. Do they actually like these? Yes, they like these. Okay, that's good. Let's just make this like a little area where these plants grow and look nice. It's already at 19%, so we can't put in too much more. Maybe put in a few flowers here and there like they are just growing here. No, I don't like that. Let's get them out of there. It's always a bit looking like which plant do you like, which plant you don't like, how do you want to put it in. Elephant ear, oh that looks nice. Maybe in the back here a bit on these. Yeah, I think we should place some next to those burrows. Okay. Has to grow the right way, of course. Well, I think we're almost there because it doesn't like too much stuff in its enclosure, apparently. I just like to put up some of those plants in here as well because I like that. I just hope it doesn't get too annoyed by it, but I think it always looks natural to have some little plants growing next to the rocks. I don't know, it always feels like that's something a bit natural, so put in as many as I can before they start whining about it. And apparently they just like a lot of grass, which is okay. We'll just give them their grass. All right, this is the last one. That's it. So now they should be pretty happy, but we still have to put some stuff into their habitat. Can you put plants on that they eat or grubs that they eat? Sometimes. So here we are at what the animal actually needs. So enrichment stuff and their food stuff. Now, for instance, this animal does not have anything like that, but I happen to know that... Let's go to the species. Let's find the Bengal tiger. For instance, if we go to the Bengal tiger, we can... where is it? Right here. We have a special tree that they can use for scratching. So this is the scratching tree tamarind. You place the tree and they will actually use that to scratch. You can also build a scratching post, but that doesn't look as cool as a tree, of course. So sometimes there are things that you can actually use in here. But then, of course, I like to put in a tree. But it depends on the animal. So you can see, like right here, we can have a termite stuff that they can actually eat from. So I like that. Now this seems to be like a very dry termite thing. So we'll put this in the dirt right here. Maybe we'll put in 2. I think that'll be cool. So we'll put one on this side too. Then let's see, because they need a rubbing pad to be able to rub themselves. Now they need it, but I don't think this looks cool in the exhibit. So what I then try to do is hide it a little bit. So we can either hide it behind a plant or maybe hide it behind here, because I don't really like how this looks. Now here is the burrow already, so we can't really hide it there, and they can't really reach it. Oh, on top of the building is also not that smart. But maybe we can hide it a little bit, like placing it here behind a tree so you don't see it that much. I like that. I also like to try and hide water bowls and things like that a little bit. Now here we have high grass and I don't mind it being here. But for instance, the slow feeder, I don't really like the look of the slow feeder. But it helps them. So we'll just put it behind the plant here. And then when you stand on the path and you're looking, you don't really see the slow feeder. So I like to play around with those things a little bit. All right, we need a herb scent marker because that will make them very happy if they have that. So let's place one, well, just in here in the grass. That is okay. And now we've given them some enrichments. We can also give them a foraging box. This is where they can eat from. Now, usually I like to make sure that they that I hide this a bit in the foliage. But of course now we can't, because we can't build any more foliage, because then we have too much. So in that case, I'm not going to put that up, and we're just going to put in a small food bowl. Well, with those termite hills, they can now do whatever they please. And of course, for the guests, it's nice if they can see them eat. So we'll put up the bowl right here so that people can see them eat. And we can see if we unpause now, things will get adjusted. We can see that they're perfectly happy in their habitat. All they need is some better nutritions. And the way to do that is just click the door and then go to the animals. And here we can give them better food. Now, it will not change the happiness of the animals straight away. That will take some time because they have to eat first. But this is what makes them perfectly happy now. So the last meal quality was a bit not too good, but now the next meal will be very good. And basically what we have done, we have created our first habitat here with animals in it. Now this one is sick, so this one is going to be treated in the veterinary office. But let's take a look, as we can see some people standing here about the fence. Is it good? Is it not good? It's quite a big sturdy fence. Maybe we should have tried a little bit smaller one. Oh, this game is so much fun. And I can tell you, I have this game for a long time. And I was watching every now and then a little YouTuber playing this and making all these nice exhibits. And I was always like, wow. And then I tried it a bit and it just never worked. Because in my mind, I like to do things that are correct. And placing rocks inside each other is not correct. And I was, in my mind, I could just not do that. That was not possible. And building a fence like this, like I built here, it was just not possible in my mind. And I had to change my mindset. And once I did that, only a few weeks ago, and I started again and I tried out, and now I can build this. Of course, this is not the perfect habitat. There's always people that can create much nicer things. But I already like this, and I already have fun doing this. But you have to get into the mindset that everything is possible in this game. Just try it. Alright, I'm going to pause again because I want to finish this little road here. Make sure that they can continue on a nice path. Now, the road was pretty wide, so maybe we should make it a little bit slim. Because we don't need that wide roads here. Alright, so now they can go all the way up here. Road's pretty wide here, but that's good, especially if we build another exhibit here at some point. Now, of course, it's time to remove this because we don't need this anymore. And wow, 1.5 hours, and we've already built our first enclosure. Oh, that's pretty fast. I'm at work sneaking and peeking. Oh yeah, but you work in your own house, like, right? In your own office there, so nobody's watching you. Where's the beer stand? Yeah, we don't have that yet. Well, I'm already happy that we started to construct our first bit of the zoo, and we now actually have that. All we need to do now is make this look even better. Let's go check. Let's go into some gardening. And let's see, is that where I hope it was? No, we have to get rid of all the filters, of course. Let's take a look. Yeah, this is where I want to be. I just have to, yeah, there it is. Alright, so what we can do is we can put up some fertile patches of ground here down by the fence, and then we can actually, let's see, yeah, let's do the long wide one. We can grow some plants on there as well, so then it won't be just looking like grass, it will be like there's some actual real dirt here, and we put plants on it, so it's like we really took care of the exhibit. So let's lower this a little bit, not too far, because then you'll see the grass will take over. But we can do it like this and then keep moving it along the path. And then we'll put plants on it a little later. And then it will look like we really created a habitat and also took care of its surroundings. Now, as you can imagine, this is always a lot of work. And when you do this rotating, you always have to first rotate it a bit too far, because then it will finally start snapping. And from then, you can rotate it back a bit. Now, if it's going over the road a bit, that's no real issue. You can just fix that later on. And of course, it's also fine if it's over the road a little bit. So don't worry about it. And here we go. Still on the road a little bit, but I don't mind. Let's go. Let's rotate now. Let's see if we can actually do a good rotate here. No, not fully. We have to keep moving it a little bit so it'll fit in perfect. Yeah, this is good enough. Now, one of the things you have to do in your zoo is provide education for the people that visit. And I have to be honest, I don't like the ways of education. You have to put in big boxes that make sound and people can then be educated. But I don't like that because I don't like the way those boxes look. So one way to put in the education is, for instance, to do this. Build this with plants. And then make sure that you hide those boxes in the plants. That can be really helpful. So that's what we're going to try and do soon. But first we should just make sure that we finish this little patch, of course. Alright, there we go. We'll do it like this. Now it starts to be a little bit too wide. So I'm going to do it like this. And now we're going to switch to the little smaller part. And as we continue here, yep, here's the little smaller part. Alright, there we go. So that's an easy thing. You can just click the other one that you want to use and it will straight switch off to that one. You don't need to change anything else. You can just do it like this. This will also work with the poles. So it can just go underneath them. That's fine. Alright, now we put this one in. We move a little bit. We go back to the wider one. And I will just go as far as I think we should. I'll just move this one back a little bit like this. Rotate it a bit more. Yeah, still looks good. It's a bit of work, but then you have something. And you can create a very, very nice looking zoo. Alright, let's move this over just right under there. That's it. There we are. Alright, so now we've created an earth looking patch. Maybe we should do a little bit here too. I don't know, just a little bit. Let's rotate it first. Then we'll have to lower it so that it fits in. Yes. We won't see this soon enough because then we will be having the plants over it, but you will see it under the plants. So that's why I keep doing this, and I want to make this look really nice. Hey James, nice of you to join us. Glad you made it. All right, so here we have this. And now we can basically choose what we want. So we can either put orchids in there or something else. Big bushes if we want to, but I'm not really a big fan of big bushes. You can put in lady ferns, but they're a bit boring. So now basically the question is, should we put nice flowers in this? Or should we go with plants that actually grow in something like this? So should we go with plants like this maybe? That's a little bit of the thing. Hey, wifey, nice of you to join us. I think we should go with some of the plants that this animal likes, because, well, that's basically, it's their enclosure. So we could, for instance, go with the bird's nest farm or go with some elephant ears. Now, these are really big, but we can put in the smaller ones here. And just to add something extra to this nice exhibit, maybe put in a bigger one. Here and there. So just give me your thoughts on that. Should we go with a plant that is native to the actual animal, or should we just go with something different? I like to go with something that's native to the animal, but that's my opinion. I love a big bush in front. Oh, I like a big pile of wood, but well, that's everybody's own taste. And of course we can still play with this a bit, so we can rotate this one a little bit, and then when we go on to the next one, we can rotate it again, and place one a bit more in the front, one a bit more in the back. We can go with this one now, so we have a smaller one here. And then we can just decorate this whole thing. Hello, Forev! Nice of you to join us. How are you? I hope all is well. Just trying to decorate my little zoo here that we started today. Alright, let's take a look at this. Is this nice or should we do something different? I think this is good for now. We can always change it out later. But I like to go with the plants that are actually in the... Although it is a bit much of the same. So maybe we should spread it out a bit more now. And also put in something like this. So this is the big one. Maybe we could go with the slightly smaller one. This is also a plant that actually grows there. I'm actually going to do that. We're going to switch a bit between the different plants. So not just do one, but we'll do 2 of the plants that actually grow in here. So we can put in these smaller ones down here as well, in between the others. Alright, and we can go for these bigger ones and put those in here too. Now it's becoming nighttime and it's raining. Get out your umbrellas, people. Alright, let's just gonna continue with nature, and then we're going to continue with a few of these bushes first. Oh, come on everybody, get out of my way. I'm trying to plant some stuff here. What are you all doing here? Visiting my zoo. Oh yeah, that's true. Ooh, just went for a run. Well, doing sports, very good. So really proud of you. I should do that, but well, I'm always telling myself that I'm going to sport as soon as I'm in shape. Which I don't think is the way I should put it, but well, that's just how I keep crazy for myself and not do any sports, basically. Alright, now these people are annoyingly in the way, so get out of the way. Go home or something. Let me continue with my zoo. It's so humid. Yeah, that's true. Where are you from? I mean, I'm from the Netherlands. It's pretty humid here. Right, let's just plant a few more of these. And then we go on to the other plant. Again. So maybe sometimes we can do a few a bit closer and sometimes a bit more, a bit further away. There we go. What plant is this? Is this the bird nesting fern? Yeah, okay. So we have them up here too. Good. Maybe we can do one really big one. Where's the white patch? Oh, that's this. Okay, so we'll do a big one here. It's a bit overhanging on the fence, so I guess then the zookeepers know that they have a job to do there. Could be interesting. Let's place a small one here too. Just one big one. That's looking nice. Beat them with a stick. Ah, UK, even more UK. It's getting busy with the UK. So, do you have any experience with the Planet Zoo? So maybe you can tell me whether I'm actually building something nice or just is just a waste of time. Alright, let's turn this plant a bit around. This is actually a bit on the road. Should put a small one underneath here. I actually hate it when it's so dark. Come on, people. Give me some light. Thank you. Way better. Now I can see what I'm actually building. Alright, there we are. Well, it's not too much foliage, but it's something to make it look a bit nicer. So I think that's good. Could you make it middag? It's a bit dark. Oh, yeah, I just did. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I'm from the Netherlands, and you guys did not want anything to do with the European Union, and all of a sudden they're all in this European Union guy stream. So that's interesting, but hey, all fine with me. See that we really have to get a few plants in here. Alright, so this is up. Let's unpause now. And I really hate the rain, so let's turn off the weather for a bit so that it stops raining soon. There it goes. Well, so much for the rain. I'll just lock off the weather now so we can make sure that it stays dry for a bit and we get some more sunshine. It's dark at Yuzu. You can set the operation time there. Yeah, so now it's daytime again, it's light again, so things should be fine. So now we have the plants around it, but if we click a certain people, we can see that there's no way of education. So we have to still educate the people. So let's go to our facilities and let's go to media and education. Now there's ambient speakers that will just make annoying noises, but there's also the educational speaker. And I'd like to put those in, but somewhere in the fence. So let's build one. Then we click it, we can set it to spread information about the aardvark. I always like to think this is some form of propaganda. We can set it range. And then I just like to move it. And we'll just put it in the fence here, so nobody will see it. And then we copy it. We'll move one over here too, so that it's not interfering with the other one. But we can still educate everyone, so that's nice. Let's move this one into the pole here too. Something like that. Yep, that should do. Great. Let's build another one for this area. And then we're all happy and everybody gets educated and we're not bothered by these ugly pieces. So there we go. Perfect. And now slowly we should see the education go up. That's nice. I love Europe. Ah, very good. Nexit. Well, you know, it all depends on what countries are doing together. I mean, if you just form an economic union and have free trade and stuff like that, I don't think there's a lot against it. If country 1 starts to decide what country 2 should do, then maybe then we get some problems. So maybe we should not do that. So it all depends on how far you bring things. Let's see, because I totally forgot to get this area closed off. And I do want a nice closed off gate here. So we have to put a little piece of rock overhead, I think. So let's try and make this like this. And then a little bit more like upward. So now we actually have an enclosed zoo like that. I like it. All right, I think we also need a big screen telling people what animal this is or something like that. And we could also be having some conservation education boards. Now, what I also like to do with these sometimes is just place them, set them to tell you something. So they'll be telling you about, I don't know, deforestation, something like that. And then we can just start to move it back as far as we can so that it will still give you information like this. But now it is mostly in the wall here. And that way we have some information up there. And maybe we can hang up a big screen in this on this side. So that we can teach the people a bit about the animals here. So let's just place it how I want to place it. There. Then, no, I don't want a lot of them on each other. I just want one. Is this 1 or 2? Ah, it's 2. I was thinking that. So let's remove 1. There we go. Let's tell it to say us something about the aardvark. And then we are just going to move it a little bit into the enclosure like this. Hide a bit of the legs. No, this is not what I wanted to do. Let's place it back. Should not go too far back, of course. But now it kind of looks like it just belongs there, and that there you have some information about the aardvark on the corner, which is good for the education. People like this, so all right. Kind of looks like we have our first enclosure. Nice. Alright, do you want anything else with this enclosure? Do I still have to do something? Or should we go just got the game from Fit Girl? That's nice. Well, enjoy it, Roadhog. So, Do you want to see me do anything with this exhibit, or should we go to the next one, or maybe to, I don't know, an eating area or whatever? Oh, I think we should be making the facade here. That's it. We need to work here. That's what we're going to do right now. We're going to build a little facade here. And if you have any other ideas, just let me know. I'm just going to start here, and then soon enough you can tell me what else you want to see me do. That's totally fine. You need donations, yeah, but we have unlimited money, so why get a donation box? Alright, let's go see if there's anything. This is all rock. What type of rock? Desert rock. Okay, so we might need to go a little bit desert themed, maybe? I don't know, is there any desert stuff? Wooden planks, wood, glass. Yeah, there's no real desert stuff. I do like these dark wooden planks though, so maybe we could go with that. Is there any interspecies enrichment for aardvarks? Good question. Alright, let's pause the game because otherwise too much time passes by and people get unhappy. There's not, if I checked correctly. So let's go to the Zoopedia. There's no other species that they can live with and that they will be happy with. They live in groups 1 up to 2. Well, that's what we have. So basically, they're perfectly happy. And this is what it is. We made the enclosure a bit too big for what they actually need, but who cares about that? So yeah, that's just what it is. All right, let's go with this dark wood for now and try to make a nice area here that we can use for the closing off of this. So here we go. We'll just put another big one up here and one next to here, and maybe we'll have to do a bit of movement now. Yeah, this is not placed ideally, but the good thing is we can of course just remove the path here and change that up a bit. So if we select this whole thing and just move it over to here, we can make it lock in with the wall here. So we'll do it like this, and that should free up the space to actually build one that will join up here too. So let's continue building with this group and put in a piece of wall here. Now there's I think we might need to rotate this, or we can do it like this, of course. This also works. Maybe then we can put something, we can put a plant or something in here. I don't know, do we like this or not? Well, that's a good option, Roadhog. That's a good option. I think that's a good one. I think we should let Vorev pick the next one. I hope it's not too hard for me, of course. Alright, so this could be the answers. Maybe we'll just work this area a bit. I think I'm going to do that actually, because I don't like this little corner here. I just want to be moving this off. So let's do exit. We're not gonna use it to connect to the other part. We're just gonna do it like this. Now let's see how this looks. So do we still have to move it a bit more? Oh, I think this looks way better than it was before. So let's exit. Yeah, I think this is better. So people now come in the zoo. Yeah, we can put some educational stuff here, some other stuff, maybe put even some flowering and stuff on it. But I also need to get a facade going. Or a real door, but we can't really put in a door. But we have decorations, I believe, that can actually pass as a door. I had that still on, so maybe that's why it wasn't working. So there's a lot of doors here that don't really work as a door. Arctic door. Classic old door. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Indian door. Oh, look at that. This looks cool. And it's the same color. I think I want to move it in a bit though. No, it's really supposed to be an outer layer door. Question, do we like this door? I choose the tapir. Okay, that's a good choice. We'll go for that. Alright, let's see. Is there any other door that we could pick, maybe, that would look nice into this part of the zoo? Planet Zoo animal doors. They're not really animals passing through there. A single door, that's a bit small. This is the bigger door. Ooh, I like this one. This looks like a real zookeeper's door, but it's a bit too small for this area. Oh, we can fix that. We can fix that. Oh, thanks, Herodef, and nice, I see you now. That's cool. All right, so this could be a lovely door for the staff. I'm not 100% sure yet, though. I don't know. There's so many options. I really don't like that style of door. This is just a classic old door, but yeah, this is a bit too small for in here, so that's not gonna work. Arctic door. Ooh, this looks like a nice door. It's really big and cool. I like this. All right. I'm putting this in. All right, now what I like to do is lower this a bit so it will fit in with the door like this. Yeah, because this is a bit too high. I don't like it this high. Okay. So now we have just created a little facade here where the workers can get through. So all we have to do now is continue the pathing again. And let's connect it here, and that's it. So now nobody will see, but they can just walk through there. And, well, maybe we can see them do that soon. No, they can't. There they come. And they won't open the door, of course, but now they can just get through. Look at him walking all tough, that security guard. There they go. I already picked the smallest part, so we can't make it any smaller, but this is cool. There we go. Alright, we had a pick for the next animal, the tapir. So let's just try and find it. The bearded tapir. Cool. I like that. I'm happy that it's picked. Let's check the Zoopedia, see what we actually have to get for this animal. It lives in South America and Central America. That's nice. We need an okay sized habitat, but not too big. We can actually make it a bit smaller than this one. We also need a 1 meter high fence, so not that high. And they also live in groups of 1 or 2, so we can do 2. And they can go with other animals. So the question is, should I make it so big that we will fit in another animal, or should I keep it like this? I mean, if we go for the giant anteater and check how big a size... Yeah, that does need a bit more land. So I think if we make a habitat just as big as this one next to it, we can fit both those animals in there. And I think that could be nice. Right, I was just having a sip from my drink. Giant anteater's pretty chill too, I think. Yeah, I think it could be a nice option to just put them both in this little exhibit here. We already have one part of the walling, so that's good. What I would like to do actually is set up a little area here. We'll put a bit of water in the front, so we'll lower the area there a bit, and that will also help us to not be... that we don't have to create a big fence again, so we can still create a small fence in front here and just make a nice exhibit for them, and also create a nice sturdy enclosure. I think that would be nice too. So let's go filter, let's go to the species, and then we have to find the bird's tapir. Where is it? There. Alright, what does it need? It needs a good enclosure, so that's good. It can't sleep in a burrow, so yeah, we need to make a good enclosure for them. And I think it's the same for the anteater. If I can find that one. Let's go to animal trading and find the name it goes by. The perfect name it goes by, because I always forget. A giant anteater. So I have to look at the letter G. Oh, we were looking here. Filter species. Let's go to the G of giant anteater. There we go. Can they go in a burrow? No, but we can get a natural termite mound, so that's nice. Alright, plenty of options. So I just have to say, if Voref agrees, we will go with the tapir and then put also in the giant anteater. One thing I'm going to do straight away is remove this path, I was going to say. Because we need this space now to work with. Go for 2 species in the coral. Yeah, the giant anteater and the other one. Okay. How are we going to set it up? Well, we're going to start with the terrain then. Let's lower the terrain a bit so we get some water in front of it. Oh, then it really actually works to have a path there. So I am going to extend the path now. I believe this one was now 6 meters wide. Yes. Yeah, let's just go and continue. We keep on a straight path for a bit because that's easier. Alright, that should be long enough. And then we go to terrain. And if you want to lower the terrain now, I'll show you. If you just do it at random, you can move all the terrain. But because the path is here, you can't just lower the terrain everywhere. It will take into account the stuff that is already there. So for instance, if we do it like this, you can see that right here it will stay. And that's a nice feature because that means that it will not get too low there. And the road will not go wonky. Now it's a perfectly straight road and we can just go around it. Alright, now it's always a bit tough to work with the terrain layer. I don't always like it. So you can see already here that things are not going how I want them to go. Maybe we can just put it up a bit again and then lower it again. It's always a little bit tough, but we'll manage it. Not sure how big we have to go, but we'll just go like this. And we'll make this quite deep, so we basically need almost no fencing to fence off the area here. Now let's smoothen this out a little bit. Yeah, this is good. Okay, so I think this is pretty good, although this is already quite deep here. So let's smoothen it out a little bit. Yeah, this is better. There we go. And do the same here. We'll have to make sure that they can get in soon, but let's just push it a little bit more here so that it gets a little bit more flat, so that they can actually walk towards the water. I don't know if they'll like it, but they'll have to make do with that. And let's flatten it a bit so that they can easily get in. Yeah, that should work. Okay, now let's try it out and fill it with water. It is valid. So this is now the whole water site for them. Oh, it's quite a lot of water. Actually, it is a lot of water, but maybe if we lower it a bit, yeah, that might be better. So then they can slowly walk in there and have fun. Alright, I think we should flatten this out a bit more. Let's just flatten it out. Okay, that's better. Sleep well, wifey. I hope I don't make too much noise. I'll be on for only like half an hour more, then I'll be off. Alright, so are we happy with the water so far? Yeah, I think this is a better amount of water. It's still a pretty steep though, so we might need to keep on lowering this area slightly. It's on 100%. Maybe we should put that down a little bit, make the area a little bit larger. And then we're just going to... Oh, we have to get rid of the water first, otherwise it won't work. That's the thing, always get rid of your water, otherwise the terraining that you're going to do won't really work. So Make sure there's no more water in the way, because if there is, it won't work and the landscape won't be changed. And you just have to redo a lot of stuff every now and then, so be prepared to do that. But as you can see now, it's way less steep. So now they can slowly walk into the water. Now, a way to make sure that they will actually stay here and go nowhere could be to just make a construction here. And that's what I'm going to do right now. It doesn't really matter which one we take. It's not that important. It's just make sure that you actually build something of a area where they really can't get out. And you can do that by building a nice wall here. Now, of course, nobody will see into the exhibit, but that's the whole point right now. Yeah, let's go like this. Let's rotate. Let's do it on this side too. Is it big enough now? I think so. All right, let's move the whole piece. Exit. Yeah, there we go. Now let's move the whole piece over a bit so that it will go in here nicely. And now we're just going to lower it all the way into the ground. But now you can see that there's something of a wall here. And it's almost ground level, so that's good. We'll just place it right here. Yes, that's where it should be. And now if we're going to lower the area on this side a little bit more, if we actually can, I'm not sure if we still can. Oh, the water is still in there. Let's get the water out. See, you have to get the water out. We can just lower this bit by bit, and it will only go away where the wall is, and it will not go further. So that can be a handy tool to make it so that it's really steep here, and then nobody can get out. Maybe we should move the wall a little bit more to the front. Yeah. Guess we'll need to fill this bit in again. But this way, nobody will see it once we've decorated everything. But this gives you an idea that now it's really steep and no animal can climb out. And I'm really missing out the chat. So that's one downside of this game. It's labor intensive. Really have to do a lot of stuff to do this nice zoo. But I guess in the end it's going to be worth it. And we're building a nice zoo and I love doing this. But I'm just totally missing out on the chat. I hope nobody will get mad at me about it. Alright, let's just raise this a bit like this. Alright, there we are. Ooh, we should raise the land here a bit, otherwise it doesn't look that nice. Yeah. There we are. Oh, now it's going down there too. Okay, well, it's fine. I don't think they can get out of here. And what we can now do is go to nature and just add a few rocks here. Oh, this one is a bit too big, I think. Quite a bit too big. And now this way everybody will think that this is how it is supposed to be and how it is supposed to look. And only we know that that's not really the case, but we don't see it anymore. So there it is, perfect. Alright, let's fill this up with water again, because I think that's done for now. And of course, if you have any suggestions, just leave them in the chat. Please, if you write something, just put in @Patmos so it lights up for me so I can see that you're talking to me. Next thing we have to do is find out how big this habitat actually is. Because right now we have no clue. So let's put in a door. We're going to make this one slightly more to the back because we need room for the what's it called? Yeah, let's change these all out for invisible ones. Yep, there we go. All right, so let's go in here. We can just attach this one to the barrier from that one. So now this whole wall already works. Then we'll go this way. Let's see, let's get to the front now. Then we can actually see how big the habitat is. Oh, it's not really... This bit needs to be moved a bit. Yeah, something like that. Let's just make sure that everything fits nicely. Yeah, let's do it like this. This is better. This is also more easy. Okay, there we are. Let's get to the front here because this is how big the whole thing will be anyway. Let's put it up on the actual wall because that's where the exhibit will end. And let's attach it to the other one. Alright, now we should have a fully enclosed area. Let's see how big it is, if it's big enough or not. 1100 square meters. I hope it's big enough. I'm not sure, but we'll find out. We can see the big difference here. If you check this, it says right here, this is 1000 square meters. While the barrier says it's 1300. So we already lost 300 just by adding that stuff in there. So it might be good to make this one slightly bigger because we are losing a lot of space already right here in the rocks. So we might need to make this one slightly bigger actually to put in the 2 species. How unfortunate, but it is what it is. Alright, let's get rid of this one piece. And extend this one with 2. Okay, exit. No, we need to keep editing this one because I want to put in the side one as well. There we go. And then we can put in the exit. Let's start editing the barrier. And then we'll start off with this piece. And we're just going to remove this area. We'll continue the rest later. We'll just have to put in some land work here to lower the stuff here as well. Let's get rid of the water. So that's why you can use the barriers. Just create that little barrier and make sure that you know how big your place is. Because otherwise you've built a complete exhibit and then find out that you can't fit the species in that you want to fit in or the number of animals that you want to fit in. So always make sure that you check if you have the correct numbers up and if everything is checking out. And if not, then you can still do something about it. Alright, let's just make this a little bit deeper because it's not up to par with the rest. It does not need to be perfectly shaped like the rest. I mean, this can be just a little slightly deeper area like this with a little bit more of a curve or something like that. That's okay. Still wanted to go a little bit deeper here. Something like this. Could be like a little bit a deeper patch here. Why not make it all a little bit different looking than the other side? That's all fine. Not the whole exhibit has to look the same. Okay. Oh yeah, I think this looks good. This is just a little bit of a steeper part, that's fine. It'll do. Yeah, it'll do, but I think this is fine like this. So now we can continue the barrier again. Alright, there we go. Maybe I should continue right here, because here I can see how far out we are. I think if we make this one longer, then it should be fine. There we go. Now go all the way to the back. Let's just attach it. Okay. How big is it now? 1300, just like the other one. Well, we'll see how many animals we can fit in now. It should be okay. Question is, are we going to do the same here with the rocks, or should we do something different? And while you people decide that, I'm going to build the actual place that they are going to stay in. What's this looking like? Oh, no, that's not what I want to use. Ah, let's go with the dry stone wall. That looks kind of cool, I think. Because we have to make their a place where they're actually going to sleep. So let's try that. Should it go right next to there? I'm not sure. I think we should maybe try and put it in this corner. One, two, 3, 4. We're actually going to make it quite big, but I have a reason for that. You'll see soon enough. Let's just go with this first. Okay, so we're going to remove that one actually, and we'll put in a door for the workers, I think. Yes. Let's go to doors. Let's put in an actual door. It won't be a real door, of course. It has to fit though. I hope we can find one that actually fits. Yeah, it almost fits, but it doesn't completely fit. I don't like that. Don't like it that they put in a door, and then if you try to place it in here, you can still see all the edges, and it doesn't really perfectly fit. I don't like that. I think they did not do a good job there. This doesn't really feel like this is a exhibit door. Alright, can we make the outside go away? Ooh, now this is better. I think if we do it like this, it's fine. At least now there's a door in there and they can get in through that. So this will be the sleeping place for the animals. This is going to be an issue though. One thing to know with this barrier is that if you use the barrier like I am, the null barrier as it's called, as soon as they get across, you get a notification that an animal escaped. So having this little piece in the corner here is a real issue, because you'll just get messages all the time when as soon as they get in that corner that one of the animals escaped. So it's always safer to just put it out a little bit like this instead of inside, because then you get the notification all the time, and I don't want that. Alright, so this should be the place where they're going to sleep. I'm not going to put in a floor, but we are still going to construct a few more pieces here. I think we were using the drywalling, yes. Alright, this is where the keepers come in. So let's just build a nice... alright. Can we add it to the group? I don't think that's wise. Let's just do it like this. There we are. Does it fit? Yes. Okay. So the keeper comes in here. Now it has a little bit of a safe space. And then here is where all the animals are going to lay down. I'm going to paint the terrain a bit. So let's make it like heavy soil or something like that. So that's what they're going to sleep on. And then we'll create sleeping places for them. Now, of course, when you build a building like this, where the animals are actually going to sleep, it's very tempting to complete the building first. And I can tell you, don't do that. Right, we'll put some sand where the people come in. Because this looks a little bit more like it's concrete or something. Okay. I don't know if the animals actually like sand and if they will love this, but we'll see. But it's very tempting to put the roof in already, but then you can't work in here anymore. So always finish the inside first and then go to another place. Alright, I don't think these animals are too big. So we can just fit in a few sleeping places here. Maybe in the corner somewhat. Of course, not in the opening, so we'll put some sleeping places right here too. Doesn't really matter how many we put in, as long as we put in sleeping places. Could be interesting to get a very big pile of leaves and put that in here, like if they put it there, or maybe a large piece of stuff, so that it's like they walk this outside. That could be something, but they're not going to use this as a sleeping place. But now you see that this is really like the stall that they're actually living in. Actually, I think it's nice to just completely cover this, because now it really looks like it's a filled up place. I think that's nice. What else are we going to do here? Well, there are some decorations that we can put in. Now, I'm really hoping that I remember where they are. I highly doubt it. Props. Is it in props? I don't know. Yep, there it is. Here we have the shovel. Alright, let's put a shovel up against the wall here. And another one. Because they'll be using both of these while working. Yes. General props, I believe they're all in. Yep, there's the shovels. There's also a watering can that we can actually use. Okay. Let's see what else. Ah, the wheelbarrow. So these are ways that you can actually make this building look a little bit nicer. Just by adding little props like this, like they're actually working these. We'll put this one next to the... Nope. I did not want to do that. Because we need to lower it first. Now it's like they're actually using these things. Gonna have a whole lot of fun with this game the next few days. Thanks! Well, I believe you were one of the first when I said I was going to try and stream this game, or at least suggesting it, who was like, nah, it's very slow, I'm not sure, I don't really think I will like it, and now you're all this enthusiastic. I love it, but interesting. Alright, we need a little place for some water, of course, here. So yeah, there's a whole lot of things you can do with this game. And I love it a lot. Alright, we don't need a step ladder here, I think, but maybe a few sacks that can just stand here next to the wall. I think they should be... Oh, can we actually place one inside here? That actually looks a bit nice when it's inside here. Alright, let's try that. That's one. And we'll put up a few against the wall. We'll have one laying down, I think. All right. This is interesting. So now we have a decorated inside here. And I think for now this area is okay. So we're going to close it off now. We're going to get back to the walls and then to the roof, actually, not to the walls. We'll have to find the drywall roof if there is. Well, we only have a floor apparently, but well, we can use that. We can put that on top here. All right, let's select it to add to group 8. Yes, I would very much like that. Now, sometimes you will find out that the walls don't really fit. And that can be an issue, of course, but we can fix that, no worries. We'll do that straight off. So as you can see right here, now these walls don't really fit. So what we'll do, we'll just move these two. Hopefully we can make them fit in perfectly already. Otherwise, we'll just, let's exit. Let's not use the tool now. And then we'll just do it like this. And now they fit in. And now we have a fitting wall here. And a nice enclosure for the animals where they can actually live in. And now we just have to continue with this. Never too proud to admit a mistake. Well, that's a very good quality, so keep that up. Keep that up. All right, it's time to keep working. So we should probably go ahead with some stones. But the issue at hand is a big one. So I'm going to continue with this for a second. And we are going to construct one additional piece of wall here. Two actually, because I think that looks nice. Yeah, we'll leave it at this then. No. Do we? No. Let's go to the path. Get rid of the path. We're going to change this one up a little bit. Let's put that in. Yes, this should be the end of that. And then we are going to edit the barrier. Edit that one. And now I want to move this one slightly. Should be facing outside. Yeah. All right, let's put it exactly in the middle there. So now it fits. And now we can continue with rocks from here to there. And make the enclosure closed off. But then we also have a bit of walling. But I think that's fine. That's just how these things work every now and then. So we can just go with a big rock. Or a few big rocks actually. Let's just make them fit in. This is already a bit of a smaller rock, but that's okay. Alright, so the area is closed off now. A pygmy rhino in an anteater disguise. Oh wow. People's imaginations are working good, that's for sure. Alright, let's put up a big rock here because I just like the way that looks. Alright. Alright, alright. Yeah, let's do it like that. Okay. Next question is how to enclose this. Should we just fill it with another type of rocks? Because I don't want to do the desert rocks again. Maybe we can do other rocks. Or we could go with, I don't know, something else. But then it would be just walls, probably. I'm not a big fan of walls. So let's just try, I don't know, the tropical rock or whatever. Let's just put off these themes so we can have all the different rocks available to us. We can also try and find a type of foliage. But yeah, this is not foliage, so that doesn't work. Let's just go try and find a nice looking rock that is not the desert rock. Savannah. Oh, that looks a little bit different, but not too much. Maybe we can go with that. Oh, then maybe we can do camels or something right next to this. That could be interesting. Alright, let's start off with a big rock here. That I'm going to place next to the path. So that we know that this is the end of the exhibit. And even visitors know that. So yeah, let's build this rock right here. Then go and find other rocks. I need a bigger one. Yeah, slightly bigger. And then put it down in the ground a bit. Because I don't want it too high yet. And it does not need to hang over the water too much. So this is fine. let's just lower it a little bit. Good thing is we can just use different rocks or the same rock but make it look a bit different every now and then you can still keep using it for a bit. Alright. Well, we're getting somewhere. Not sure if where we're getting is the right place to go, but we're getting somewhere. And of course, I still need to decorate the rocks in front of it too, but we'll get to that at some point. Ooh, this could be interesting. Let's just place this right up here. No, that's way too small. That's not supposed to be there. Oh, that's a different type of rock. That's why I don't like it. I was already wondering why don't I like that. Well, that's obvious then. What else? This one maybe. I want another rock overhang here. Something like it. Yeah, something like this. Okay, and now we can just close this area off. Let's put in a smaller rock here and then put a big one over it again. Yeah, something like this. And then we fill it up with another. Can we now still look through it? Nope. Alright, that works. Let's just go with a very big rock here, because that's easy to use. And we need to fill the space anyway. Nope. Okay, I'm starting to like how this looks. And of course, if you have any feedback or whatever, just let me know. Tell me what you think. I'd love to hear suggestions or things like that, so just feel free to tell me. I'm just not sure we're going to finish this enclosure before I have to stop streaming, because it's already a bit late, of course. Wifey should soon be going to sleep, so I can't continue for too long. Alright, that's it. That works. We have to put in some effort here now. Of course, to just make the top here look nice. Right now, this is kind of boring. Imagine a human-sized house cat. I believe they're called... what are they called? What's the right term for that? A tiger, but... yeah, nice. I don't want them in my house, but... Alright, so we have the inside where they're going to sleep. We have the whole enclosure done. I think it's time to actually invite one of the animals and then see if they like it and what the actual size of the enclosure is now. Because of the water, I think it's very small, so I don't think they'll both fit in here. But we can find out. Let's just get these two. This one is 2, this one is 4, so this is the better one, I think. Adopt. These two, yeah, I take the youngest one, adopt. Let's get these two, send them to the zoo. Oh, there's no path here. We have to finish the path first. I'll do that straight off. Oh, look at this. The rocks are actually on the path here. Well, I think they can walk besides that, so that should not be too much of a problem. Alright, let's see. I hope they can still get to it. Let's send them both to the zoo and see if they like it or not. So there they go. They should be picking them up now. Yeah, very nice addition. I like it. Hope you show up more. And I'm glad people like the stream with the zoo building. I hope I can do more if you guys and girls would like that. There we are. There comes the animal. I hope we did a good job here, but we might have to do some work there. The new animal arrived, so let's pause again. There it is. Let's see. Well, the space is good enough. We just need to change some of this. And it likes a lot of foliage, so we can have a lot of fun with that. I like it. So let's get going. We have too much short grass and we have too few pieces of soil. So let's get going with some soil first. Now, I always like to do that around the rocks, because I think where those rocks are laying, there should be soil and the grass underneath. So let's finish that first. And then we can add extra patches to where it needs to be. But let's just start around this. There we are. Yes. Okay, and now let's get this a bit bigger, because they like a lot of soil. So let's just make a big soil patch here. And then we'll just use the green around their place here. Alright, they also like some rocks. Oh, that's interesting. Let's just make this a bit rocky then. I mean, they like it, so why not? There's rocks here, so let's put a few rocks there. Alright, anything else? They want some sand. Well, we've put that in the enclosure there, but let's make a little bit of a sand patch here. I always like to get some soil around it then, because going from the actual... yeah, that's not completely working. Going from the sand into the grass is always a bit weird, so let's create some soil around it like this. Okay, so this is all good. They enjoy their habitat right now. They just need some better stuff, and they need a lot of coverage. Let's give them the best food we can. That should already help. And now let's focus on nature. Why can't I click the animal now? There it actually is. Okay. South America. And there's a lot of biomes that we can pick from, but that's okay. Okay, question for you all. Should I put some plants in the water as well? Like these, there's probably some water lilies and stuff. Should I do that or not? I'll start decorating this, and then you can all think about that and answer that to me. Ooh, I like these trees. Okay, they like them too, so we can put those in later. I'm not going to put them in yet, but I like that near the water. These are very big trees. A hazelnut sapling. Oh, I don't like those trees. Mangrove trees. Oh, they can be cool in the water. Of course, they will block a lot of the view, so they're usually not the most interesting thing to actually add, but... palm trees. I like palm trees. Let's see, do they like them too? Yep. They like the palm trees. Now, palm trees usually also grow around water, so it might not be the best to put those back there. So, it's always a struggle to find the right trees and put them where you like them and how you like them and things like that. So, that's why it usually takes me quite some time to actually decorate a certain place, because I just want to get the right trees and on the right place and things like that, and that just takes a bit of time. Tamarind tree, oh, that looks nice. bit big though, but it looks nice. Does the animal like that too? Yeah, it likes it. Okay, that's good. Not going to put in too many, but I think we can squeeze off a few trees here. Just like that. Put plants in the water and fish. Well, I can't put actual fish in it, but they could have... No, these don't have, but there are animals that actually like to get diving in the water and then get fish out of it. So that could be something. Ooh, we can get termites. I think we should put that up in front of the enclosure a bit so that people can actually see that. So yeah, there is some stuff that they like. A plant screen so that they can probably take shelter behind it, but we'll do that with trees. They do like these scratching trees though. So we'll put in a scratching tree for them so that they can start scratching there. I think this is actually the tree that we've planted here. So if we just put it in there, now they also have a scratching tree. So that's nice. But let's just finish with nature first. We need a lot of nature in here anyway, so let's just go with that. Any water plants? Piranhas. Yeah, it could be nice, but yeah, no. Spanish hanging moss. Some trees and stuff. Alright, let's just put on an extra filter and go with subaquatic. No, with plants. Are there any water plants that these animals actually like? Well, these they like apparently. The Amazon water lily, but I don't really like those. Underwater eel grass. Alright, should be interesting. Question is, can we lower it to such an extent that it actually looks nice? And do they enjoy it? Yes, they do enjoy it. Okay. No. Yeah, I want to do it like this. I want to rotate it a bit and then bring it down. So they actually do enjoy some of this grass in their exhibit. Question then is, of course, how much are we going to put in? Not too much, I think. We can put in a few patches here and there. Alright, one more, and that should be it. For now, at least. No, that's wrong. Let's correct it like this. Alright, there is at least some life in the water now. Then maybe this is a bit too much. If there's only some grass growing there, then this is a bit too much. Let's turn off aquatic and subaquatic. And then get going with some other plants, I think. Okay, let's see. Ooh, it's already 11:45. I'm busy 2 hours and 40 minutes, and wifey really needs to sleep, but she can still hear me talk. So, actually, this is going to be the end point for now. We are very close to finishing our second habitat, but it's going to take a lot of work to put up all the foliage. And we're going to do that next time. We're going to save that for next week. So this is going to be the end. I had a lot of fun. I really enjoy building this zoo, and I really enjoy building zoos in general, so that's fun. Thank you all so much for being here. Thanks for sharing this with me. I hope we can enjoy this even more next week, as we are going to continue. So thanks for the lovely time in chat, talking to mostly each other, because of course I was very busy building. I will try next time to read the chat a little bit more. Thanks to everybody watching. If you have not done so, please hit that like button to help me get found in the YouTube algorithms. And if you have not done so, but you like these streams and my videos, then please consider hitting that subscribe button. I wish you all a good evening, good night, good day, or whatever it is at your place. I'm going to sleep soon, so I hope I sleep well. I hope you do too. And then, of course, I hope to see you back again next time for yet another stream and yet another bunch of fun. Thank you all so much, and see you all next time. Bye-bye.